Guys, how's it going? It's Ollie here from CryptoVest.com. Today is the 8th of October and we're going to be looking at Cardano trading against Bitcoin over one-day candles initially. Some seriously big bullish signs here, guys. I've seen about three that I'm going to bring to your attention in a second. I just had a look at this asset because I had a little 3% gain this morning and I thought, oh, maybe we're starting to move off the line a little bit here. Let's check the asset out. Had a little look at the roadmap to see what's just been coming out last month and what's going to be coming out next month, and there's been some really great updates, but one that really took my attention was Emergo has just partnered with MetApps, and according to the Cardano roadmap, it said that it's now going to allow people in South Korea to pay with ADA in over 33,000 stores. And for many of you that trade, or that many of you that are in the crypto space will know, South Korea is like one of the huge crypto superpower nations, and for most crypto assets, when they have their big runs, it's usually South Korean investors that really like to get behind assets and run with them. So these guys are usually quite explosive. You'll see these massive pumps, and they're just a very excitable crowd to have behind an asset. And this is a big news for Cardano going forward, and more exposure in the South Korean market can only be a good thing. So let's just take a look straight away at the one-day candles, and you can see on the Ishimoku indicator right off the bat, we're starting to travel very sideways recently, and this sort of accumulation is now actually touching the resisting Kumo that's been stretched over Cardano since June. And you can see that the last time the candles actually interacted with the resisting Kumo was way back in April, just before we had that run up through May. And if we actually catch up, how far was this run from here? So you're looking at nearly an 80% gain from when it started through the cloud to when it finished and when it peaked. So we're looking at this sort of similar thing happening again. And this is usually a really good bullish reversal sign. And if these candles can actually continue through the cloud and break through and hold above it, then this is a really good sign going forward. Looking at the MACD indicator as well over one-day candles, you can see that the 12 MA, the blue line, is actually now just touching the signal line. And this is for the first time since, well, way back in April again, so around that time, and we had a huge run up, and since then it's never really managed to get over the signal line. I mean, we had a moment in July where it was really close, and then some bearish selling pressure drove it way back down again. So here we're looking like we may just be approaching it again. So obviously we could be expecting it to dip as soon as it hits it, but this is something to really keep an eye out for, and this is really exciting. If it can push through here, then that would be another confirmation of a strong bullish, next bullish phase. So that's really promising. If we drop down to 4-hour candles, we can also see some other promising signals. Let's get rid of the Ishimoku. So we've got a 50 EMA. If we bring up a 200 EMA with it, what does it say in show hard? There you go. So let's set this to 200. So as you can see, let's get rid of this arrow, zoom out a little bit. So in the last couple of months, in the last month, sort of since the end of September now, ADA has just been accumulating really nicely, kind of traveling flat after this long bearish phase since the end of May. So we sort of had this double bottom here, it pushed up nicely, corrected back down, and we've been traveling sideways. But as we've been traveling sideways, you can see now the 50 EMA has actually started to travel really closely now to the 200 EMA as we're accumulating. And right now it really it won't take a lot to get this 50 EMA over this 200 EMA. We just need a little bullish push to really kickstart this whole thing off. And as you can see, if we do get a crossover, it'll be again the first time we've seen a bullish crossover between these two EMA lines since way back in April again. So a really promising signal now. We just really need to see some sort of bullish momentum start, and perhaps the announcement, the new Korean investment that we may expect to come in next month could really help kickstart that. Alternatively, Bitcoin right now, there's some interesting going on with that. And if we can see some bullish momentum pick up for Bitcoin, perhaps that can filter down through the rest of the market and give ADA the boost it needs to really start this new bullish phase. So yeah, so a couple of really big things there, guys, that I wanted to bring to your attention. Drop us a comment in the section below and let us know what you think of this. And for the full TA, head over to CryptoVest.com. And yeah, please like and subscribe, guys. Cheers.